Sonic the Hedgehog zooms past the competition at the box office with $57 million. That's the headline on today's MBE News.
Yes, Stephen, you are absolutely right. This one is coming in from Entertainment Weekly, and as you did say, and as the title of this video will probably say as well, Sonic the Hedgehog has zoomed past the competition. It's come in with a very impressive $57 million opener. I think it is now the biggest opening weekend for a video game adapted movie. What a performance.
Yeah.
It's claimed the title, yes, indeed it has. They say here $57 in its first week in theatres. That would be terrible. I forgot to put an M in there.
That's about 4 people. Yeah,
it's 4 people, yeah. But look, second place goes to Birds of Prey. It's overtaken that movie. Was it me or was it you?
I think it was you.
Yeah, it was me on my
just yourself, John,
yeah, speaking about Birds of Prey's issues. No, it was both of us. We spoke in,
it was Heroes,
yeah.
Yeah.
It was about the issues with this movie. It's borderline financial flop. There's a lot of issues with box office. They're starting to point fingers at certain demographics.
Yeah.
And now we have good old Sonic the Hedgehog coming in and topping it. What is your thoughts on this? I'm glad for Jeff Fowler. I think this is great news.
John
Man has been vindicated.
It's a turnaround as well, John, from the position this project at time was in, with the most bizarre looking hedgehog you'd ever seen. It certainly wasn't the hedgehog that I was used to growing up with a Sega Mega Drive, Genesis I think it was called in the US, back in the early 90s. I just was not connected to this character one bit. All I knew was that his name was Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It was, of course, redone, and yes, you're right, John. I think the director,
Jeff Fowler,
he is. He's got to receive full credit for this, because at the time he listened, and it's paying off now. A lot of other directors with huge egos would say, "No, I'm doing it my way. I don't care what you think. This is how he's going to look, and we're going to plough ahead." Well, he didn't do that. He went back to the drawing board with the CGI guys, redesign, or I should say, get back to one of the original designs that we all know and love. And it's reaping its rewards now, and I'm absolutely delighted for him first and foremost, because we covered this about 6 months ago. It was well before Christmas, and we both agreed, I think anyway, that we thought he was doing the right thing. It was a big gamble, but it's certainly paying off now.
Steve, the only issue I had with him doing it was that it was perhaps kowtowing to that toxic element within social media.
You always get that concern, John. You're going to set a precedent, but I think you're right. You're absolutely right. It could have been perceived as that, but sometimes I think it's not a bad thing to listen to the punters out there. No. I think a lot of other studios can learn a thing or two from fan bases and what they want. It seems to be that the studios go against the grain too often these days with what people want, and then they're upset when people don't turn out numbers to see their film,
Yeah, much like obviously Charlie's Angels and Tim Miller with Terminator Dark Fate, and obviously Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. People were pointing the fingers at the wrong demographics and laying the blame on them, when in actual fact they're making movies which are not catering to that demographic.
No.
And common sense would then tell you that if you're not catering to them, you're not giving them anything that they want to go and consume, then they will not go and consume the movie. It's quite simple, really. You'd think with these guys supposedly being clued up in business matters in Hollywood and whatnot, they would understand basic business models and targeting your primary demographics and whatnot, but they don't.
It's basic marketing, John.
It's basic marketing. But Stephen, I think what he says about also him having the gumption to go back and take this movie back to the drawing board for Sonic's design and whatnot, I think that would only be echoed with other projects in other studios if it's a similar setup. I think this movie probably had maybe come under budget, or had a relatively small budget to begin with, that they had that breathing room to go and maybe tool it back up and add that additional cost on. They must have had confidence in the acting performances from the likes of James Marsden. I think Ben Schwartz is doing the voiceover for Sonic, and also the great Jim Carrey doing Dr. Eggman Robotnik, I think.
Robotnik, yeah. So
Ivo Robotnik, I think Eggman, there's something egg in there. We had this conversation before, I remember it. But they must have confidence that these guys have delivered some really good performances, or they would not have went to that extra cost and expense of going out and redoing the design. But look, I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they had the balls. As you says, you grew up on the Mega Drive. I think we had the Master System we had, I think, probably the first Sonic game or something, I don't know.
I think it came out in the Master System too, John. I think that was the first sort of version of Sonic we got, I remember
the side-scrolling thing. It was really fast-paced, one of the better games back
Epilepsy then. I think it was the first game that, had to disclose that,
Yeah, I remember I had issues with that. I was always terrified I'd end up with epilepsy, and I'd discover it through playing video games, but no, didn't happen. But look, growing up with that character, just glad to see they seem to have nailed something, because even the reviews, I spoke about the reviews I think on Thursday, feedback was damn good. They were getting middling to good. Some voices of negativity within the midst, if you like, of all the different reviews. Really happy to see it's doing well though. Hopefully that will be mirrored over here. We don't have this week's box office numbers yet, so as you'll find out when we go into box office. But look, Steve, we'll move on swiftly. I was about to say smooth on to it wasn't smoothly, sadly. That was a terrible transition.
Your transitions are going to have to be
going to have to be better, because we are going to start clipping some of the more prominent topics out of this show, try to cater to some people who don't have good attention spans, if you like. They want to consume shorter videos. But Stephen, this one is going to be all about this next topic, Parasite. Who would have believed it? We just can't stop speaking about this movie. Its ticket sales have increased over 200% following its history-making escapades at the Oscars. This is coming in from Screen Rant. I don't actually have any financial numbers in front of me, but I'm not really surprised with this, because this is something we always see. They even mentioned it here. There was a box office increase in last year's winner, Green Book, after it picked up Best Picture award. But this one has actually surpassed. It's a massive increase. They've went up 234%. It's earning another $5.5 million. It thoroughly deserves it. We're seeing it over here. Started with a lacklustre 153 or something theatres, and now it's expanding out, and that's going to get more bums and seats, more eyes watching the movie, more money coming in. And Bong Joon-ho and everyone involved fully deserve it, because they have made an absolute masterpiece of a movie.
Well, I don't know if you saw, John, as we record this, he's actually Bong Joon-ho's return to Korea to a hero's reception. Don't know if you saw the airport clips, but looking cool as ever, cool guy. But I mean, this is something that
it's like a Korean Beatle with that hairdo.
He's so cool. You saw the clip with him at I think it was the Engraven Bar. He had his Oscars. It was Renée Zellweger. And they were just having a casual chat, and it was just so laid back, and it just seems like a down-to-earth guy. But just getting on to these ticket sales increase, John, this is something that it normally happens with Best Picture, year in, year out. An increase, a second wind, if you like, in its ticket sales. And Parasite's not, that's not any different to what we see year in, year out. But it's one of these sort of chain reactions, if you like. What we do here at MBE, we keep an eye on these things over the course of several months, and thankfully, we were sort of directed in the right direction with this film. We would have discovered it at some point just through all the sort of movie outlets, etc., John, but it was always nice, of people, on our subscription to, point us in the right direction, saying, watch out for this film. And, we are sort of, involved in keeping an eye on these things, for our own shows and stuff like that. But for a general audience, this is one of the things I always appreciate about the Academy Awards. It gives it that platform to sort of, show that you're ordinary members of the public. We're that as well. I'm not trying to say anything else, but
we are living out with that
we live in
bubble that most general populace.
We live and breathe, film and entertainment. This is what we like doing. This is our passion. But people out with that are casual, that are casual moviegoers. This is their opportunity to, see these films, on this higher platform. They don't get higher than the Academy Awards, and this is the result of it, and we do see it year in, year out, John, with the Best Picture. It always gets that second wind. Parasite's not any different. For it to be 200%,
235%,
that's amazing,
34.
And I'm going to go and see this film again. So
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people have seen it. From what I've heard, the people I've been speaking to, I've seen it at least 3 or 4 times already. So it's only natural, you know, a film like this, and we talked about this on Friday on the review. It's such a layered film, you know, and there's a lot of interpretation as well that you might have missed, or you might have misinterpreted, and a lot of humour as well. And obviously the translation thing, we did talk about that on Friday, John, in regards to, do we think it came across well to an English audience and English subtitles?
Yeah.
We both agreed it did,
Yeah.
you know, but I think sometimes you do miss things, certainly when you've got subtitles, you know, you do miss things on the screen when you're concentrating on what they're saying. You have to quickly look down to see what they're saying, you know, in the subtitles, and sometimes it takes a little second look to you know, get everything in there, you know. So I think it's great.
Stephen, look, the movie is steeped in symbolism and visual clues and whatnot. There's so much happening. It's so intelligent in the way it was crafted. It's one of the most intelligent movies I've ever seen. Just the way it handles multiple genres within each scene, the way the sequences flow. That one I spoke about, where it starts with Mr. Kim and his introduction into the Park household, the test when he's driving, that big long extended sequence where they're reciting lines and trying to get Mrs. Kim into the family. There's so much going on, right down to little peach droppings getting put on the original housekeeper, the tuberculosis thing, just things like that. So intelligent. It held my grasp, or my glance, if you like, for nearly the entirety of the movie. Actually, that's true. Sometimes you have to look down at the subtitles and whatnot. So, I mean, I'm definitely going back to watch this movie. I think it's absolutely fantastic. One of the best films I've seen in years.
Yeah.
Not surprised to see it's got an Oscar bump, post-Oscar bump, because as you have says, it happens time and time again. Really happy to see it's one of the biggest ones, though. I didn't get to see Bong Joon-ho's triumphant return to Korea. It was beginning the video, but then I had to put it off because I think the sound's still on my iPad, and we would have heard it on the show, so I will watch that later. Very glad to see the man is getting a hero's return, because he deserves it. He's the first man in 60 years to win 4 in one night, so hats off to him. Not got much more to add to it other than to say, I mean, I would hope, getting back to your point previously, that I would beat a general member of the public in a movie trivia contest. I would hope I'm more screwed on. After doing this for about 3 years now, I'd hope I know a little bit more than the general plebington out there. Yeah, so hopefully we are a little bit more strapped on. But yeah, you're right, Steve. We have to thank that person who threw a bone our way and told us of this movie's existence. We would have fun it anyway. I love watching foreign language movies. I've done it with Land of Mine, was it? Yeah, I think it was. Dutch one, or Danish. Seen it with The Innocents, a whole host of foreign language movies. So I would have definitely seen this movie at some point. But look, ain't got much more to add. And on that note, we shall move on to the final news topic of today's show. This one's coming in from Cinema Blend, and it is all about Mulan, Disney's Mulan. Exact headline is, it's not even out yet, and people are already imagining box office issues. Now, Stephen, I think the obvious thing here is, well, I say the obvious thing is the coronavirus, which is hitting China at the moment.
Yeah.
They've shut down the entire country, basically. I think a good 100 million people are quarantined. The cinemas or the theatres aren't opened.
Yeah.
People aren't going to watch any movie. This movie's set to hit, I believe, the 27th of March. It's coming up for about a month away. There's no way that country's getting back on its legs in a month's time. I think we will see this virus maybe tapering off eventually. I think your man Trump, even though I hate his tangled face very, very much, I think he's probably right. This is like a flu thing. It dies down at a certain time of the year.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to come quick enough. And I think what we'll probably see is maybe Bob Iger or Alan Horn, whoever deals with schedules for movies at Disney, maybe having to delay this over in China and then bring it in March 27th everywhere else. I don't think this is an issue in terms of actual release date, because we've had this with the likes of Ant-Man and the Wasp. It was delayed a whole month over
but we're
here.
just the poxy little country, you know, at the edge of Europe.
Yeah,
you know,
second biggest film market in the entire Western world. Who cares about poxy little Britain? But yeah, Stephen, look, they do it to us, so I see no reason why they can't do it to China. But there is other reasons for this movie's potential.
You're
box
talking about
office
origins
setback
here as well, John, in the story. So I can understand the concern from Disney and the Chinese government as well. You know, they've got bigger fish to fry at the moment, you know, and rightly so, out with film. That's the least of their concerns at the moment. Yeah, you're right, John. I think the wise thing to do would be to delay. You know, I would delay the film worldwide, you know, at least by, I don't know, I would say maybe about a month or so, just to see how things are going, because I don't think it would be right that, you know, the rest of the world gets to see this Mulan film, and the Chinese market unfortunately can't see it, you know, till things obviously, you know, progress.
Well, they can blame that biochemist or scientist in that Wuhan lab for letting out a ghastly virus.
But I don't think that would be a major
speculation.
I don't think it would be a big deal to delay it, John. Look at the New Mutants film, delayed for 3 years. It looks like it's going to be a success, hopefully. You know, it's obviously anticipated. I don't think something as big as Mulan, we've certainly got the vibes from our YouTube channel when we did, I think it was yourself that did the reaction for it, John. Just the comments as well. You know, people are looking forward to this more than the animated one.
And mostly Chinese people, so they're really looking forward to it.
Exactly, John. That's my point. You know, I think it would be such a shame, you know, if they were missing out on something that they, you know, the origins are, you know, going back to that side of the world. But I don't think it would be a major disaster to delay this at the moment, just with the current state of the country, you know.
Yeah, well, Bob Iger says that in the article. The primary thoughts of the studio are health and safety of the public. They're not going to push a movie out and potentially endanger and have the lives of maybe several hundred or thousands of people on their hands just for a few extra bucks. But they do say in this article that it has reportedly went over budget. There was lots of reshoots. I think they did a couple of test screeners and the reception wasn't that great. There was a bit of backlash, I think, with the film star Liu Yefei, I think the name is, who spoke up in defence of the Chinese government. I think round about the same time the Hong Kong riots were happening against, obviously, China. I think it was about some extradition thing, or extradition law. So they were rioting. She spoke up, and a lot of people don't like that now. So the movie's facing a kind of uphill battle in winning support because of some of the stars' comments, the budget stretching, and then now also the coronavirus. So I don't think it'll have an issue. I think a sizable proportion of China will watch this movie when it does come out. I think they're connected to it. From what I've seen, they're very excited, a lot of them. I'm excited for it. I had it in my top 10, I think top 6 or 7. Didn't realise there was issues behind the scenes with reshoots and whatnot.
No, I never heard that either, John.
Look, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, absolute catastrophe.
Every Star Wars film out with The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Disney have got previews for this.
Yeah, who was it, the guy who came in and rewrote Rogue One? I always forget the goddamn name.
Gilroy, Tony Gilroy.
He came in. That movie's still my favourite of the Disney era, so it's not a setback having reshoots if they've got the right story now in place. I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to the movie. I can't wait to see it. I'm sure we'll review it at some point, Stephen. Looks like an original Disney animated remake, whatever. They're doing a different thing with it. But look, I ain't get much more to add to it. It's a shame what's happening in China. Hopefully they get it all sorted out.
Yeah.
And it doesn't come over here. I want to continue talking about movies into my 40s and onwards, hopefully. But look, we shall move on, Stephen, to this week's box office breakdown. It's for the weekend of the 7th to the 9th of February 2020. This is, of course, the UK box office. What do we have in at number 1 this week?
Number 1 this week, John, its first week is Doolittle. It's grossed 4 million over the weekend and 6.8 million overall.
Yeah, I'm confused. This is a week which has seen the release of Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, Parasite and Doolittle. I would never have put Doolittle in at number 1. That is crazy to me. But in their defence, Parasite has a limited release, as we did say previously. Throughout the world, it's seen a post-Oscar bump. It's not reflected here. We are a week behind. Birds of Prey, though, wow, they are walking away with their tails between their legs. Nearly 1,300 theatres, and Doolittle bumps it to obviously second place for number 1. I mean, $6.8 million. This movie is supposed to be an absolute shambles. It was reshot. There was farts, I think dragon farts put in and whatnot. What was Robert Downey Jr. thinking? Him and his wife working in tandem to do this as the first project or production after Avengers Endgame. $182.3 million worldwide, $175 million budget. Ain't breaking even. It's not even close to making a profit. This is a flop. But you won't care. They'll just get back to Iron Man.
This is the thing.
Iron Man.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that. But you're right, and I think the name Robert Downey Jr. carries this film as well. Certainly here in the UK, he's got a big fan base. after doing the Sherlock Holmes stuff. But yeah, I can't see this film staying in the top 10 too long. It's coming in at number 1. Yeah, it's a surprise over the likes of Parasite, certainly, and Birds of Prey. But I've heard that Birds of Prey's actually been talking about renaming it. But
they've done it
that's
for the theatres,
yeah. We'll move on anyway to number 2, John. This is obviously Birds of Prey in its first week, 3.7 million over the weekend, and of course overall. Harley Quinn they're going to be calling it, and the Birds of Prey.
Stephen, I don't understand.
What they call it.
Yeah, I don't understand why they didn't just call it Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. It gets back to what I was speaking about before.
Yeah.
With the criticism of certain demographics. It doesn't make business sense to make a movie like this after the success of Harley Quinn and Suicide Squad, an absolute crap movie for some. I actually didn't mind it. I thought it was okay in parts. And then you don't capitalise on it by calling it Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. It makes no sense to me. And it's flopping $145.2 million, $84.5 million budget. Maybe I'm being harsh. Its parts not flopping just yet. I'm getting all tongue twisted here. I should stop doing it. But it's not great. When you take into account theatre cuts, promotional cuts, it's not doing good.
Here is a film that is doing good, John. Number 3, it's 1917 in its 5th week.
Yes.
It's got another £3 million over the weekend, or dollars, whatever this is. I don't know what they're converting this into. 47.1 million overall. It says dollars here, and this is for the UK. Confusing or what? Yeah,
Box Office Mojo, once they done the makeover of their website, they just made a complete arse of the numbers and whatnot. They've not even tried to convert. Dollars is apparently the worldwide currency now, despite probably the pound being out.
Even after Brexit.
Yeah, the pound been out a long time prior to it, probably, I'm assuming. Yeah. $47 million. I think when you translate that into pounds, that's probably about 32 million pounds. That is very impressive for a historical drama movie of this ilk. $323.8 million worldwide. That is massive for Sam Mendes, for the likes of George Mackay, Dean Charles Chapman. List goes on. Yeah. Hats off to him. Thoroughly enjoyed the movie. One of my favourite of the last year. Just took me back to a period where humans were made of different stuff. Yeah. The lost generation, or the great generation.
Yeah, we'll move on, John, to number 4 this week. It's Parasite, and its first week it's grossed 1.8 million overall.
Yes. Stephen, I would normally slag the British off for a lack of taste in movies, but 137 theatres. It was never going to make big money with those sort of theatres. I mean, I think we had goddamn Secret Cinemas getting more of a theatrical release than that. Now that it's expanded out, I think we will see this movie raking it in here as well. Just out of interest alone, $175.3 million overall. I mean, I can't imagine this had a huge budget. There's 2 primary locations, fairly constricted movie. It didn't have to do anything grandiose. They've probably raked the money in. Hats off again, man.
Yeah, hats off. We'll move on to number 5 this week, John. It's Bad Boys for Life in its 4th week. It's grossed 1.3 million over the weekend and a massive 17.1 million overall.
Yeah, it's a 47.2% drop. Still not seen this movie, incidentally. I don't think I'm going to now. I think I'm probably missing out because it seems to be doing well everywhere. Yeah. Apparently it was a return to form. I don't know why I'm saying a return to form. I don't think they ever lost form. I think they've been pretty decent in the main, the Bad Boys movies. $369.8 million worldwide, $90 million budget. Massive success. We already have a Bad Boys 4, I want to call it, in production, or post-production. So they're going to rake that money in. You put Will Smith in with Martin Lawrence, is it? Yeah. And it just magic happens.
The Personal History of David Copperfield coming in at number 6, John. It's in its 3rd week and it's grossed 700,000 over the weekend, 6.6 million overall.
Yeah. I spoke about this 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah.
I still not get a clue what this is about. David Copperfield. Don't know who that is. Can't know. Yeah. Who was David Copperfield, Steve?
It's not The Illusionist. It's not him.
Not. It's an older one.
Yeah, it's like a Dickens type thing. I honestly don't know, John. Pardon my ignorance, but it's not my cup of tea. Certainly not my cup of tea.
It's not my cup of tea either, Stephen. I would rather have a cup of tea than go and watch this movie. 58.1% drop, £6.6 million overall. Ain't get a wide release.
Let's move on. Number 7 this week, John. Kinky Boots, the musical. Something else I don't know about. It's its 2nd week now. It's grossed £600,000 over the weekend, 1.5 million overall.
The only kinks I want anything to do with, Stephen, would be starring Ray Davies and Dave Davis and Peter Quaife and Mick Avery. I don't want anything to do with the Kinky Boots musical. $1.5 million overall in the state of the UK, $2.4 million worldwide. It's grossed $900,000. I was about to say $1 million.
Calm down, John.
In the US, I don't know what it is. It's a filmed popular stage musical featuring a feisty drag queen. There you go. Right up Earl Street. Not got much more to add.
Okay, swiftly moving on to number 8 this week is Jumanji, The Next Level, in its 9th week now. John, it's grossed another £500,000 over the weekend, 45.7 million overall.
Yeah, I've still not seen this one either, Stephen. I really enjoyed Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle as
We're
well.
here to talk about films we've not seen.
Yeah, I've not seen most of these, to be fair. Yeah. Doesn't need my help, does it? $45.7 million in the UK, probably about £37 million. $780 million overall, $125 million budget. Huge success for Dwayne Johnson, Karen Gillan, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, Sonny, everyone involved. Can we get a Sephora movie now, please? Can we go to space and get Jon Favreau in? I'm sure he'd like to redeem it.
Yeah, I'm sure he wouldn't.
But you'll love it for Sonny.
Number 9 this week, John, it's The Gentleman, a film we have seen and we have reviewed it in its 6th week. It's grossed £500,000 over the weekend, 14.2 million overall.
It's an absolute travesty, Stephen. This movie's only grossed $14.2 million here.
Yeah.
Disgraceful. This is a British mobster movie with Guy Ritchie. What is wrong with these people? It's a fantastic film. Brilliant story, amazing colourful characters, full to the brim with humour. Charlie Hunnam's in there. What else do you want? Colin Farrell is playing an Irishman. It looks like Conor McGregor mixed with, I don't know, some local Ned or Chav, whatever you want to call him, with that kind of a gear. Dearer gear than that though. I think he's wearing a Gucci tracksuit, to be fair to him. $65.2 million worldwide. Ain't get budgetary information. Hopefully it's made money, because I want to see Guy coming back to this genre more and more.
That's what he does best, John.
Yes.
Yeah, coming in at number 10 and rounding up the box office for this week, it's Little Women, and its 7th week. It's grossed £400,000 over the weekend, 27.1 million overall.
Yes, went to see this movie a good few weeks back now, Stephen. This sadly doesn't appear to be having a post-Oscar bump, although we wouldn't see that because it's a week behind.
Yeah.
So I'm talking nonsense.
It may. It may or may not.
It's a great little movie, man. Really great. Fantastic performances all round. 54.6% drop. 7th week. It's made its money. It's on its way out. Nearly $200 million overall. $40 million budget. I'm starting to rift here. That Bakewell tart and those chicken gyros and pork gyros are coming back to me. It's made its money. It's a success. Hats off to Greta Gerwig. Hats off to everyone else involved. Ain't got much more to add to it though, unless you have.
Certainly not.
Well, that will round up the box office then, Stephen, and indeed today's MBE movie news. What do you make about the 3 box office sort of heavy titles or headlines we spoke about? What do you make about Sonic the Hedgehog beating Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey, whatever the hell they're calling it now, to number 1 in the United States? What's your thoughts on Parasite's post-Oscar bump? And what's your thoughts on Mulan? Will it be a box office flop, a floppity flop, as I like to say? Will this coronavirus have an impact? If you have anything to say at all, you can comment below and let us know what your thoughts are down below in that comment section. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it, and you can subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. And if you do, then you'll see me and Stephen again at some point for a joint show, but you'll see me on my lonesome tomorrow for Heroes, try to scurry around and